So congratulations, you got your house, you passed the inspection process, and now you're to the next steps, which is the appraisal. And I'm going to explain to you what an appraisal is. This is when the bank is actually evaluating the property to make sure that there's something they want to lend on. The two things they're checking for are condition. So number one, they want to make sure that this house, the roof is not going to fall in on you like the day after closing, and they're going to lose out on their investment. And they're also checking for safety issues such as like water heaters being strapped and carbon monoxide detectors being installed in the proper places in the home. The next thing they're evaluating is the price. And the reason why they do this is they want to make sure you're not paying some inflated value on the property. So during this process, appraiser comes out, they take measurements, they compare it to other comps in the neighborhood, and then they come up with a price that they feel the house is worth. And hopefully that price is in line with the price that you're paying or better. The types of reports that they come out, so there's a couple different things that can happen. Number one, you can get an appraisal report that comes back at value or higher with no conditions. That's the optimal thing. And actually, if it comes back higher than the price you're paying, then you have instant equity, which is even better. The second way it can come back is it can come back at value with conditions. And a condition can be something as simple as water heater straps being installed or a leaky roof being replaced or repaired. So if those conditions come back on the appraisal report, then they have to be taken care of before the lender will give you final approval on your loan. The other thing that happens, which we absolutely hate, is when the appraisal comes back lower than the price that you're paying. And when this happens, there are certain things that can take place to kind of keep the transaction moving forward and get you to closing. The first thing is, you as a buyer, if you have the cash, you can pay the difference between the appraised price and the price that you're paying. So for example, if you're buying the house at $500,000, it comes back at $475,000, you can pay that $25,000 and close the gap. The second option is you can ask the seller to reduce the price to the appraised price. So same thing, if you're paying $500,000 and the appraisal comes at $475,000, you can ask the seller to pay the difference in that price. Sometimes you can do that if it's a extreme buyer's market, you may be able to negotiate that with the seller. If it's an extreme seller's market, you're probably going to have to come up with you probably have to pony up the cash actually, or you can come up with a way that you and the seller can come to an agreement, but maybe you split it 50-50. The other option you have is that if you can't if you don't have the cash to make up the difference and the seller refuses to reduce the price, then fortunately, you have this financing contingency, which allows you to walk if you get a low appraisal. So you'll be able to leave the transaction and keep your earnest money. And hopefully that doesn't happen because we want to get you to closing. So the great thing about when the appraisal process is done is once this is all set and you get this appraisal taken care of, the next step is getting final approval, and then you close on your home and you're signing documents. So congratulations on getting this far, and we'll talk about next steps.